Welcome back. Caroline Torpy is here with the latest Hollywood news updates. Caroline, what have you got for us?
Hey hashtag, it's Caroline Torpy, and I'm back this week with this week's Hollywood news update. First up, the hit YouTube sensation James Charles is finally being held accountable for his actions. Charles has over 25 million followers on YouTube and has already been called out by fellow YouTubers and celebs for his inappropriate comments to younger fans. This March, a 15-year-old boy shared screenshots from his conversations with James on TikTok. James blocked the boy after he began speaking out about how he was underage and how James knew it all along. In April, James released an apology video after two more boys, both under the age of 18, released their inappropriate conversations with James. James claims that he will work harder in the future to avoid mistakes like this and is sorry for his actions. Do you guys think this is the downfall of James Charles, and how do you think he'll recover from this moving forward?
I'm so upset about this. I've always been a really big fan of James Charles. I have his makeup palette. I always watch his videos when they premiered. So at first, I was a little suspicious because, there's always this idea that this is a famous person and you see these allegations come up. But after seeing many more, I of course believe them, and I will not continue to watch his content anymore.
Yeah, I pretty much agree with you. I even remember freshman year you showing me your brand new James Charles palette. You were so excited, and I know that you had such a strong love for him, so that's got to be really upsetting. I was never a huge fan, but I do think that this really will be his downfall. After, a whole second scandal happening, I feel like with the entire public eye on him, there's no way he's really going to come back from this, which is upsetting, but again, we have to remember, even though he's in the limelight, he did this to himself, and he has to remember that he has a platform, and he needs to use the platform for good.
Yeah, and this scandal is way more different now that there's criminal charges. So, yeah. Caroline, what do you think about this?
Yeah, I used to be a really big fan of James Charles, but after all these scandals and controversies with him, I'm not so sure if I'll be a fan for long. I think he definitely needs to be held accountable for his actions, and it's really disappointing because this has happened multiple times. Next up, though, Duke of Hastings, Regé-Jean Page will not be returning to Bridgerton for Season 2. On Instagram, Netflix revealed the news, and fans immediately shared their disappointment. Even Kim Kardashian West took to Twitter, quote, "Wait, what?" end quote. Bridgerton definitely launched his career as he has since won an NAACP Image Award, hosted an episode of Saturday Night Live, and was nominated for an SGA Award. He is due to appear in Netflix's big-budget film along with Ryan Gosling and Chris Evans. How do you guys think his depart will affect Bridgerton, and do you plan on still watching it?
I loved Bridgerton. I got so into it. I actually just hosted a tea party this Easter that's super Bridgerton themed, and my sister's already read all of the books, so of course it's so upsetting to not see that hottie on my screen anymore. But, each book is about each different sibling and their love life, so it does kind of make sense that he doesn't reappear for the next season because the next one will be about Anthony.
Yep, and as much as people are upset about him leaving, I think that the genuine love for the show that has been all around for this whole entire, this past year? I never watched Bridgerton, but I've seen so much support for it, so I really think that the fans are still going to be watching it. The show's not going to go downhill in any way. Also, it's super great for the actor. He's going to get way more new opportunities. Like Caroline mentioned, this really launched his career. So now there's way more great opportunities for him, and all the loyal fans are going to get to see him in a lot of other stuff. So I think it'll totally be good. Caroline, what do you think about it?
I agree. I'm disappointed that he's leaving, but I'm excited to see where this new series takes him. Next up, YouTuber Olivia Jade found herself at the center of a scandal again. 2 years ago, Olivia's parents were charged guilty in the midst of a college admissions scandal. Netflix has since released a documentary about their 2019 admissions scandal. Olivia has recently spoken out on TikTok about being publicly shamed. Olivia said, quote, "I just want people to remember, if your feelings are hurting or they're valid to you, they're valid." What do you guys think of Netflix's documentary surrounding the scandal, and do you think that Olivia can recover from this?
Well, now that there's a whole documentary about it, I seriously can't see her coming back from this, at least in the immediate future. And it's kind of similar to the James Charles thing. It's unfortunate that this happened to her, and it's unfortunate that she was young and she was impressionable and she didn't really know too much. She had a famous mother who kind of encouraged this, but at the end of the day, again, she had a platform. She needs to understand her position in the limelight, and her kind of asking people to feel bad for her in a way is not really a healthy thing for somebody with a big platform to do, in my opinion. I don't know. What do you think about that?
Yeah, let's not forget that she also has a lot of ties to David Dobrik, and I don't know if we talked about him on the last hashtag, but she just found herself in a lot of unfortunate places.
Yeah.
So I really don't know if she'll recover from this. Caroline, what do you think about it all?
I think that Olivia has definitely learned a lot from this, but it's still very disappointing. As a freshman this year, I know how hard everyone worked last year to just get into college, and it's really disappointing that this happened, and it's still an issue. Well, that's it for this week for me, but back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Caroline. That is all we have for Hollywood news, but stick around to see us play a fun game of spring-themed this or that.
We'll be right back.